Hey guys, assalamualaikum, it's Genergy. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be showing you guys in this video how to make one of my absolute favorite Indian sweets, and that is Malida. So Malida is one of those super easy Indian sweets to make. The main ingredient in Malida is actually basabshat or paratha roti. Hot basabshat or paratha roti. In this video though, I am skipping that part. I do apologize, but I'm not showing you guys how to make the basabshat or the paratha. I need to get myself a towel first, and then we can get into all of that roti making sessions. So I'm just going to be doing a quick way, and I think a little more applicable to many of you guys as well, because I don't think many of us will have time to really make the roti and then onto the Malidas. If you have the time and if you want to experiment and go on that level, by all means go right ahead. But these days there's so many people and so many places that you could actually order roti and you get it in like no time at all. So we're going to be doing it that way today, and I'm just going to show you guys how to make the actual Malida. So let's get into the video. We've got our hot basabshat or paratha roti here. The other ingredients we need: vanilla essence, evaporated milk, some ground spice, margarine, some brown sugar, elaichi, some condensed milk. So like I would have said, the hot roti ideally should be hot paratha or basabshat roti you're going to be using. So if you have to go out, probably wondering, well Jenny, if I'm not making it at all, how am I going to manage going out, getting it hot, coming back and making it and still keeping it hot? Well, what you can do is get all the ingredients together, and you can send the husband out to get it, or if you have to get it, get all the ingredients out, go get it quickly, and as you come back, it's just time to make it. Now I will say that I have actually used the microwave a few times, and there was no problem in terms of the Malida and the stiffness. People, there tend to be some issue with putting stuff in the microwave and it gets a little stiff. It has not affected the Malida in any way at all. So if you have no choice but to use the microwave, you could go right ahead, or just put it back in a pan or something to just heat it up. But it should ideally be hot when you're doing or making the Malidas. So the first thing we need to do, get that food processor handy, because you're going to need it. If you don't have a food processor though, don't worry, you can actually just use your hands and break it up into smaller pieces. So you're going to put it into the food processor and you're going to process it until it's nice and fine. No chunks in there, small pieces is exactly what you're looking for. Once you've got it all processed nicely, you're going to add it into a bowl. And to the bowl, you're going to add your elaichi or your cinnamon, your brown sugar, or any other spice that you choose to use in your Malida recipe. Mix that all in the roti mixture. Make sure it gets nicely incorporated, and then add in the margarine or the butter. So this is one of the reasons too that you need it hot, ideally, to help melt that margarine in there. And you're going to use your fingers, use your hands, break it up into small pieces and get it all throughout that roti mixture. Next, what you're going to be doing is adding your evaporated milk. Mix that all in there again, followed by your condensed milk. So use your hands, use your fingers, mix it all in there. Make sure everything is nicely incorporated. You've got your wet ingredients, your dry ingredients. Just mix it up all nicely. So this step now, let's talk about that before we continue. So you might be seeing the liquid or the mixture a little bit on the sticky and wet side. That is totally fine. Now cooking, there's a lot of science involved in cooking. Now I'm not a pro, but I do my research and I tend to sit down there and read up on all different things cooking wise. So for this recipe and anything that calls for flour and liquid, you have to remember that flour absorbs moisture really quickly. So just imagine when you have your nice curry food and just say on your plate and you rest down your paratha or any other roti there, and you realize for in a split second it just soaks up everything. that is exactly what you need to remember when you're cooking and you're using anything like with flour. So in this case, you're going to be seeing the mixture a lot on the liquid side, wet side, sticky side. That is totally fine. So let me just show you this clip on the mixture part of the experiment. And that's another thing, I tend to experiment a lot before I put something out there. So this mixture that you're seeing, it probably looks fine. Like it looked fine enough, good enough for me, because it was just the right moisture, and it was, you know, it looked really nice and moist. But then when you set it, you leave it and let it set or rest for a little while, it soaked up so much of that moisture. So coming back to this mixture that we have here for this recipe and this video, you can see that there's going to be a lot of wetness in it and moisture in it. That's fine. So basically what you should probably be doing at this step is, when you add the evaporated milk and the condensed milk, let it rest for a couple of minutes. Let it soak up as much moisture as it can, and then what you can do is adjust it. So if you need to add more condensed milk to get the sweetness level that you like, use this step, and in this step is where you should be doing it. So when you have the mixture there, and let's just say you think that it looks moist enough for you, the finished product, how it should look, that means you probably don't have enough moisture in it, so you probably need to add more, if you understand what I mean. So once it's looking in this step like it's finished, and this is what your finished product should look like, chances are you need to add a little more of the liquids in, because after a while that is going to soak up everything. And the last thing you want to have is a dry Melita. So once you've let it rest a little bit, you're going to realize it's a lot easier to roll into your Melita balls. So once you've let it rest for a little while, don't leave it for too long though, because you want it to still be able to hold its shape when you are rolling it into the balls. Then you could roll it into the balls. But if you want to add the raisins and the cherries just before you form them into the balls, is when you add them in. So you make sure, mix it in with your hands, and then form the Melita balls. Bowl is a little bit big, so you're just going to roll it to any size that you like, and just set them aside. So this is what they look like when I finish rolling them and setting them aside. And you can see all the moisture in it. And guess what? This is what it looks like a couple hours after resting. So you see there's no more moisture, you can see on the outside of it. It did not get dry, it was totally fine. But that's just my point when it comes to making your Melita. Be mindful of the liquid ratio to your dry ingredient ratio, and add more if necessary, because the flour will absorb it. So like I said guys, this is one of those easy recipes. The tricky part would just be the liquid to the dry, the wet to the dry ratio of ingredients. So I hope you guys appreciated this video. Go try it out. I know a lot of you were requesting the Melita video, so I hope that it was helpful to you and you do go try it out. Just a couple of things to note. I chose to use some evaporated milk and the condensed milk in my recipe. The reason being, the liquid evaporated milk, it adds some extra richness and it adds the moisture without being overly sweet. But if you are a sweet tooth, you can actually add more of the condensed milk if you like, or just ups the sugar level. You can even eliminate the evaporated milk and just add in the condensed milk. But give this recipe a try for sure, and let me know what you guys think. One of the good things about this is you could actually taste it. So just before you roll it out, you can taste it to see if it needs more spice, or if it needs more condensed milk, or if it needs more moisture, whatever the case is, before you roll it out to finish it off. So that's one of the good things about this. You can taste it and get the immediate taste when you do taste it. So as always guys, I hope you enjoyed this Melita video. Try it out like I said, and be sure to send me pictures. Be sure to check out the other sweets videos that I have up. I will link them all down below so you guys can go try it out just in time for Eid. And of course, send me your pictures. So thank you as always for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.